Hello, welcome to Higher Ground Gaming. This is Eric. I'm going to play another game from the 1978 Red Sox season. This is the first game of July 1st of 1978. Third and final game of a three-game series against the Baltimore Orioles. And we have a marquee pitching matchup here with Mike Torrez going for the Boston Red Sox against Jim Palmer for the Baltimore Orioles. So this should prove to be hopefully be a good pitching game. We'll see. Sometimes when you have these games, they don't always match up to what you think they would be. And hopefully the Red Sox can have a better month of June than they did in July. July than they did in June. They were, I think, 4, 5, or 6 games worse than they actually were in the actual season. And the good news is that they were 13 and 15, I believe, in the month of July. So they have, I know there were a couple games under 500. They have a chance to improve on that. So hopefully we'll have a better July and make up some of those games and get back in the first place. Without further ado, let's get this game underway.
Welcome to the stadium for today's ball game.
So alrighty, so game 3 of the series. Jim Palmer for the Orioles goes up against the Red Sox. Jim Palmer's got a record of 10 and 6, which is almost exactly perfect, halfway to his record of 21 and 12. Although his ERA is over a half run better in the replay at 1.82. Innings pitched 149, 101 hits allowed, 54 walks and 79 strikeouts, and he surrendered only 4 home runs in those 149 innings. So he's well behind his pace for home runs allowed. Hopefully we can make that a little bit worse today. But as you can see by his card here, very tough against righties. Got this not a 7 split here, a 7 roll to be had on any of his cards. And only 1 6 roll, and that's only a little bit over half. So Jim Palmer will go up against a Red Sox lineup, which is pretty standard, except for one key difference. Rick Burleson, the shortstop, bats second. Jerry Remy is your second baseman, batting second. The DH today is Jim Rice, batting third. In left field, Kai Yastrzemski batting fourth, batting cleanup. Carlton Fisk is behind the plate, batting fifth. Fred Lynn, the center fielder, bats sixth. George Scott, your first baseman, bats seventh. Dwight Evans is the right fielder, batting eighth. And Jack Brohammer gets a start today. Butch Hobson gets the day off, which defensively is definitely a treat to have somebody to not have Hobson in there. So that in and of itself is a big positive there. So that is your lineup against Jim Palmer. So Burleson steps into the box. He's hitting .279 with a homer and 30 runs batted in. Burleson's actually having a fine year. As we looked at his stats yesterday in the June summary, and he's actually doing pretty well in a lot of categories. He's up amongst the league leaders in a few things. So here's the windup and the pitch by Palmer. Dempsey gives him the sign. It's going to be off the 6th column, which is not much to have there. And Burleson will fly out to Kelly and right for out number 1. Alright, next up will be Jerry Remy hitting .296 with a homer and 22 runs batted in. Corners are playing in against Remy. And he's going to pop up to second. Dower's under it and makes the catch for out number 2. So 2 quick outs in the Red Sox first. That'll bring up Jim Rice, hitting .327 with 25 homers and 67 runs batted in. Among the league leaders in average homers and RBI, and the Red Sox leader in those categories, on a pace to hit 50-plus home runs. So we'll see if we can do that. That'll be one of our goals here. So Palmer looks in for the sign from Dempsey. Nods his head. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that's going to be a strikeout swing. So we need to stay off of Palmer's card. As you can see, even Palmer's card is much better than even Torres' card. His card is not horrible. It's just that Palmer's is that much better. So Torres comes in with a record of 10-1. Well ahead of his pace, at least as far as the amount of losses. He's only lost 1 so far. ERA of just under 3 at 2.99, 114 innings pitched, 106 hits allowed, 41 walks, and 56 strikeouts, and has allowed 7 home runs in those 114 innings. So the lineup for the Orioles is as follows. Larry Harlow, center fielder, bats first. Second baseman Rich Dower will bat next and play second. Ken Singleton, the DH, bats third. Eddie Murray will bat cleanup and play first. Andres Mora, the left fielder, bats fifth. Batting sixth, the third baseman Doug DeCences. Pat Kelly is your right fielder today, batting seventh. Rick Dempsey behind the plate, batting eighth. And the shortstop Mark Belangelo will bat ninth. So Harlow comes in hitting .266 with 4 homers and 28 runs batted. Already has more RBIs than he did on the whole season in less than half the at-bats. So here's the windup in the pitch. It's going to be up the 3 column of Harlow, which is a swing and a miss for strike 3. So 1 down in the Baltimore first. Brings up Rich Dower. Dower is hitting .295 with a homer and 23 runs batted in. A little bit behind power-wise, but RBI is about right where it should be. We'll get a good pitch to hit here. And that's a single to left as Yastrzemski throws it back in. So 1 on and 1 out for Ken Singleton. Singleton's hitting .233, 60 points behind his .293 seasonal average, with 8 homers and 25 runs batted. His RBI total is a bit low. And he'll get a pitch to hit here too. And that's going to be a single out the middle. So back-to-back singles with 1 out. We'll put runners at the corners. For Eddie Murray, Eddie Murray's hitting .288 with 11 homers and 39 runs batted in. Production numbers are a little bit low for Murray. Here's the windup in the pitch. It's going to be out the 5 column. And that'll be a base hit. Dower will come home to score the first run of the game for the Orioles. Singleton will hold at second. So 1-0 Baltimore as Murray gets himself an RBI single. So Andres Moore up now, hitting .273, 60 points ahead of his pace for the season, with 3 homers and already has 17 RBIs, which is 3 more than he had for the whole season. And again, less than half the at-bats. And he'll line out to Brohammer at third for out number 2. 2 down now for Doug DeCences. DeCences hitting .287 with 9 homers and 35 runs batted in. A little bit behind his home run total. Pace where he should be. And he strikes out swing for out number 3. So damage is minimal as Baltimore takes a 1-0 lead after 1. So Kyle Yastrzemski up now. Yastrzemski will lead it off for the Red Sox here on the top of the second. .273 hitter on the season with 7 homers and 33 runs batted in. And he'll ground one back to Palmer. Flips over to Murray for out number 1. So that'll bring up Fisk. Fisk's among the league leaders in a whole bunch of categories, including average at .331. He has 11 homers and 43 runs batted in. And it'll be off the 6th column. There's not much there. And he'll line out to Belanger at short for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down, the Red Sox second. Brings up Fred Lynn. Lynn comes in hitting .286 with 15 homers and 52 runs batted in, on a pace for 30 homers and 100 RBIs, which would better his totals for the actual season. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that's going to be a range check on Belanger. Excellent range at shortstop. So he should handle this one. Gets in front of it. And he'll make the play over to Murray for final out of the second. So after 1.5, it's Baltimore 1, Boston nothing. Let's check out some scores. Detroit and New York are scoreless. Toronto edging Cleveland 1-0. Texas and California scoreless. Chicago edging Minnesota 1-0. Kansas City on top of Oakland 2-0. And Milwaukee and Seattle are scoreless. So Pat Kelly up now to lead it off for the Orioles here in the bottom of the second. Kelly's hitting just .225, 50 points below his average, with only 3 homers and 14 runs batted in so far. So a bit of a slow start for Kelly. And his struggles continue as he strikes out. First K of the day for Torrez. I'm sorry, second K of the day. Third K of the day for Torrez. So it'll bring up Rick Dempsey. Dempsey's hitting .314 with 4 homers and 26 runs batted in. Again, showing more power and production than he did in the actual season to this point. And he's going to go around one to Burleson and throws it over to Scott for out number 2. So it'll be at the number 9 hitter to Sensei's. Sensei's hitting .214 with 16 runs batted in. His home run and production numbers are exactly the same as they are for the season, with 138 less official at-bats, average right on to at .214. And he's going to get under one here. Burleson will make the catch for out number 3. So the Orioles go in order in the second, and it remains 1-0 Baltimore. Sox will have the bottom third of the order. Scott, Evans, and Brohammer up against Palmer. Scott is hitting .260 with 7 homers and 21 runs batted in. And he'll ground one to Dower at second. It's a 2 range. He gets in front of it. And he'll make the play over to Murray for the first out of the third. So Palmer cruising right along as we tired the first 7 batters. So that'll bring up Dwight Evans. Evans comes in hitting .267 with 12 homers and 39 runs batted in. And now he'll line out to the Senseis for out number 2. So Brohammer up now, hitting .280 with 9 runs batted in. And 82 at-bats. And it's going to be a range check on Dempsey. He's a 2 range. Next chart. And he makes the play in foul territory. And the Red Sox go 1-2-3 in the third. So the first 9 batters for the Red Sox have been retired in order by Palmer. So we'll head to the bottom of the third with the Orioles up by 1. Top of the order, Harlow up now. He struck out his first time up. And he'll draw a leadoff walk. So that brings up Dower, who singled and scored his first time up. And he's going to lay one down. And Torrez will field it, and he'll throw the ball away. Two-base throwing error as it goes up the line. And I'll put runners on second and third after Torres' throwing error. So the Red Sox shooting themselves in the foot early here. So it'll bring up Singleton. Singleton singled his first time up, just like his name says. Ton of singles. And he's going to lace a single to left. Harlow will come in. Dower holds at third with nobody out, and the Orioles now lead at 2-0 on the RBI single by Singleton. Eddie Murray had himself an RBI single his first time up. And he strikes out looking for the first out of the third. That brings up Mora, lined out his first time up. Infielder's playing back, hoping for the double play. And that's going to be a fly ball to center. Wynn is under it and makes the catch. Let's see if it's deep enough. It looks like it will be. And Dower comes in to score on the sacrifice fly by Mora. It's now a 3-0 lead. That could be all the Orioles need, as Palmer seems to be unhittable so far through 3. The Sensei struck out his first time up. And he'll ground one to Burleson at short. It's in front of it. See if he can turn 2 here. Over to Scott. Nope, decides just to go over to Scott as the ball was hit a little bit too slow to turn 2. But that's all he needed, as that's the third out of the inning. So we head to the top of the fourth, with the Orioles now up by a score of 3-0. Top of the order, Burleson will lead it off. Flew out his first time up. And he'll get a good one to hit here. And he'll lace a single just past the Senseis for the first hit of the day for the Red Sox. So 1 on for Jerry Remy. Popped up his first time up. And he'll lace a single just about the same spot that Burleson hit it. And we will hold him at second, down by 3 with nobody out. So that'll put the runners on first and second with nobody out for Rice. He could tie it up in one swing of the bat. Dempsey goes out to talk to Palmer, settles him down. Here's the windup in the pitch. Oh, and this could be good, as it's going to get Rice's 1 column, which is his best column. Come on, 4 or 5. And he gets the home run column, but too high of a split, as he needed a 1 to 5. And Mora will make the catch at the wall. Runners hold, so that brings up Yastrzemski, who grounded out his first time up. Oh, and that's probably the best column if you're a leftier. That's the best column to be on for Palmer, is that 4 column. And he'll lace a single just barely past the reach of Dower and Belanger. So that'll load the bases with 1 out for Fisk, who lined out his first time up. Red Sox have a golden opportunity here. Might be the only opportunity to get off Palmer. They got to capitalize. Here's the windup in the pitch. Ooh, good column here. Anything but a 9. Come on, baby. And that is going to go over the head Harlow all the way to the wall. 2 runs will come in. Yastrzemski is going to be held at third. And Fisk says himself a 2-run double. So it's now a 3-2 game as the Red Sox get on the board. So to bring up Lynn, who grounded out his first time up. He's got a couple of runners in scoring position. And he's going to ground one to Dower. He should at least get 1. Oh, the infield is playing in, so possibly not. Dower gets it, see what he does with it. Throws the first. Yastrzemski holds at third. So it'll be up to George Scott if the Red Sox are going to tie or possibly take the lead. Scott grounded out his first time up. And Scott strikes out, looking for out number 3. But the Red Sox do score 2, and after 3.5, trail it just by 1 now, 3-2. Kelly up now, struck out his first time up. And he's going to get hit by a pitch. Looks like he's okay as he heads to first. So leadoff runner is on for the Orioles here in the bottom of the 4th. Brings up Dempsey, who grounded out his first time up. And he'll get under one here. Flies out to Evans in right for the first out of the 4th as Kelly heads back to first. That'll bring up Belanger. Popped out his first time up, and this time he'll strike out swinging for the second out of the 4th. So 2 outs and a runner on first for Larry Harlow. Struck out in the first and walked in the 3rd. And it looks like Kelly might try to steal here. Here he goes. Oh, looks like they're going to get him in a rundown. And Remy runs him down for a tag, so looks like it was some kind of a botch possible hit and run there. So Remy runs him down for out number 3. So that'll go down as a caught stealing. So it'll bring up Evans to lead it off for the Red Sox here in the top of the 5th as they trail just by 1 now. He grounded out his first time up. He's going to strike out swinging. Yeah, as the scores run by, Yankees lead Detroit 2-1. Toronto up on Cleveland 4-2. Texas edging California 1-0. Chicago on top of Minnesota 2-0. Oakland leads Kansas City 4-3. And Seattle is ahead of Milwaukee, which is good news for the Red Sox, 6-1. So if the Red Sox can win, can pull ahead, and the score, Milwaukee's score remains the same, they can gain the game on the Brewers. So to bring up the number 9 hitter, Brohammer with 1 down. He fouled out his first time up. And he's going to fly out to Harlow in center for out number 2. So to bring up Burleson, he's 1 for 2 with a single. And he'll ground one back to Palmer, who fire over to Murray at first to retire the side. So after 5 fullets, after 4.5, sorry, halfway through, it's 3-2 Baltimore. Harlow will lead it off. He was up when the base runner got thrown out trying to steal. It was Kelly. And he's going to line out to Remy for the first out of the 5th. Dower up now. He's been on base twice, singled in the first, and reached on a throwing error by Torrez. 2-base throwing error. And he lines out to Brohammer for out number 2. So 2 down now for Singleton, who's 2 for 2 with an RBI. And he'll draw a 2-out walk. So that'll bring up Murray. Had an RBI single in the first and struck out in the 3rd. And he will fly out to Evans in right. And that'll do it for the Orioles in the 5th. So the score remains Baltimore 3 and Boston 2. It's going to be Remy, Rice, and Yastrzemski up for the Red Sox. And he'll ground run out to DeSantis for out number 1. So 1 out for Rice, as you hear the ambulances outside, or the fire trucks or something. Or the policeman. Something's going on out there. Oh, prayerfully everything's alright. But the Senseis will Rice grounds out to the Senseis for out number 2. So Palmer back in control after letting up 2 runs in the 4th. Seems to have settled back down. So to bring up Yastrzemski, who's 1 for 2. And he'll fly out to Kelly and right for out number 3. So nothing doing for the Red Sox in the top of the 6th, and they still trail it by 1. Torrez up to 82 pitches here in the 6th. And Moore will get himself a single. So the Orioles have a runner on first to lead off the 6th. The Sensei is 0 for 2 so far. He'll fly out to Yastrzemski and left for the first out of the 6th. Pat Kelly up now. He's 0 for 1 with got reached on a hit by pitch in the 4th, but was thrown out trying to steal. And he strikes out for the 2nd time. So 2 outs in the 6th for Dempsey. Oh, and Dempsey's going to get a hold of one here. This one's going to go opposite field. Evans just watches this one go. And Dempsey had himself a 2-run homer, his 5th of the season. To extend the Oriole lead to 5-2 now. So they bring up Belanger. He's 0 for 2 on the day. And he gets hit by a pitch, so it seemed like Torrez got frustrated there as Fisk goes out to talk to him. So Harlow up now. 0 for 2 with a run scored. As Belanger's going to try to steal here. And Fisk's just going to hold on to the ball as he got a really good jump. So Belanger gets himself a stolen base. Red Sox looking to get out of this with only the 2 runs. Score dance. Ooh. And it looks like they are, as he'll fly out to Evans and right to retire the side. The Orioles tack on 2 more and lead at 5-2 after 6 full. So Fisk, Lynn, and Scott to lead it off against Palmer. And if anybody gets on, Evans. Here's the windup in the pitch by Palmer. He'll ground out to Dower. Range play. Gets in front of it. And he'll make the play for the first out of the 7th. Freddie Lynn up now. Lynn a .284 hitter so far in the season. 0 for 2 today. And he'll ground one out to the Senseis at 3rd for out number 2. Red Sox have managed just 2 runs on 4 hits against Palmer so far. We'll bring up Scott, who's 0 for 2. And he strikes out. 4 Ks on the day for Palmer now. 7th inning stretch time. Here's the trivia question brought to you by Mr. Brody and Miss Mags. What was Tris Speaker's full name? I don't even know that one. Maybe Beatles knows this one. Or perhaps Al Red Sox fan. Tris Speaker's full name. Lock in your answers. I don't know. Here we go. Tristem. Is that F or E? I can't tell if it's F or E Speaker. Alright. Thank you, Mr. Brody and Miss Mags, for that trivia question. We'll find out in a second what that middle initial is. As Dower comes out to lead it off here in the bottom of the 7th. Orioles up by 3. 1 for 2 with a couple runs scored. And he'll line out to Burleson for out number 1. And that was Tris E. Speaker. So 1 down now in the Red Sox 7th. The Orioles 7th. Torrez still out there, up to 112 pitches. This is most likely his last inning. he's able to get through it. And he probably will not, as he's going to double into the corner as Yastrzemski throws it back in. And Zimmer's already out of his out of the dugout, and he'll take out Torrez. Actually, it wasn't in the corner; it's straight away center field. It's the first one was foul, but a double nonetheless. So let's see. We'll go to the Red Sox bullpen here, trying to keep it a 3-run game. Let's see who we got, and then pen warming up. We bring up the box score from the actual game. Let's see. We got coming up. Murray's a switch hitter. I really don't want to bring in Stanley. Definitely don't want to bring in Ripley. Might have to bring out Stanley, unfortunately. Let's see here. Torrez pitched 10 1/3 innings, getting a loss in extra innings. I guess we got to bring in Stanley. He's the only one that's under 100% usage, so. Definitely don't want to bring in Stanley with a lead. And so, alright, so we're bringing Stanley. Stanley's 1-2 on the season with 11 saves, and amongst the lead leaders, although he's blown about like over 25% of his save opportunities, this being a non-save one, of course. So 3.51 ERA, 59 innings pitched, 68 hits allowed, 16 walks and 20 strikeouts, and has surrendered 3 home runs. We'll have to face Murray to lead it off here. Murray 1 for 3 with an RBI. And he gets Murray to line out to Remy for the first out of the 7th. So 2 down and now runner in second for Mora. Mora 1 for 2 with an RBI. Also, that was a sacrifice fly. And Stanley is actually effective as he gets 2 quick outs to keep the score at 5-2. So we'll head to the 8th with the Red Sox down still only by 3. Palmer back on the hill. He's up to 90 pitches. Been very economical going into the 8th inning. Evans 0 for 2 on the day. And he'll ground one back to Palmer, who's a 2-range. He gets in front of it. And he will make the play over to Murray for out number 1. And we have Brohammer 0 for 2. And he'll ground out to Murray, who races Brohammer to the bag and beats him. So 2 quick outs in the Red Sox 8th, time running out. Top of the order, Burleson 1 for 3 on the day with a run scored. And strike 3 called. 5 Ks on the day for Palmer. And the Red Sox go 1-2-3 in the 8th. Stanley back out there for another inning. He'll face the Senseis, who's 0 for 3. And he'll ground one back to Stanley. 2 range for Stanley. Gets in front of it. And he'll flip over to Scott for the first out of the 8th. So Carlos Mora on the pinch hit now. Carlos Lopez. He's hitting .240 for the season with a homer and 5 runs batted in. And he'll go round out to Remy at second. Gets in front of it. And he'll make the play over to Scott for the second out of the inning. So 2 down now for Dempsey. He had a 2-run homer his last time up. Stanley lets up his first hit. 2-out single. Brings up Belanger. He's 0 for 2. Reached on a hit by pitch in the 6th. And he's going to fly out to Yastrzemski to retire the side. So Stanley actually had a pretty good outing there. Not surrender a run and only 1 hit in 1 2/3 innings. Giving the Red Sox a chance here. They need 3. So Palmer back to close it out. See if he can get the complete game. And up his record to 11-6. It'll be Remy, Rice, and Yastrzemski for the Red Sox. And Remy's going to fly out to Moore and left. Has a beat on it, makes the catch for the first out of the 9th. Red Sox need base runners here. As Detroit came back and beat New York, so that's good news. And Seattle down Milwaukee 6-4. Excellent. So even if the Red Sox lose today, they'll miss an opportunity to gain a game. So standings will remain the same, at least order-wise and games behind-wise. So 1 down now for Jim Rice. He's had a quiet day, just 0 for 3. And looks like he might go 0 for 4 here. And he does, as he flies out tomorrow. So Rice 0 for 4 on the day. Red Sox held to only 4 hits thus far. So Red Sox are down in the last out. Yastrzemski up. 1 for 3. And Yastrzemski will draw a walk, so the game will go a little bit further. Red Sox would love to get another runner on and give Lynn a chance to tie the game. So Fisk up 1 for 3 with a double. He's knocked in both Boston runs. And that will be it, as he's going to ground out to Palmer. And that'll do it for the Red Sox, as the Orioles win 5-2 and I believe swept the Red Sox in this 3-game series. Not a good start to the month of July, as they lose their first game here on July 1st by a score of 5-2. Palmer is sharp as ever. So Palmer improves to 11-6. The Orioles are now 42-35. Red Sox fall to 45-31. Palmer pitches a complete game, only allows 4 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. Walk and 5 strikeouts. ERA falls, actually goes up a little bit to 183. Torrez with the loss. He's now only his 2nd loss of the season. He's 10-2, 6 1/3 innings, 7 hits allowed, 5 runs, 3 of them earned, 2 walks and 6 strikeouts. Surrendered 1 home run. Bob Stanley actually had a good relief appearance, 1 2/3 innings, allowing just 1 hit. Singleton was 3 for 3 with an RBI. Murray 1 for 4 with an RBI. Mora 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. And Dempsey 2 for 4 with a run scored and 2 runs batted in. So Jim Palmer with the player of the game honors, pitching a complete game, allowing only 4 hits and 2 runs while striking out 5. So let's take a look at our standings here. Oops. Alright, so let's check it out here. Mr. Brody. Oh, Miss Maggs is here. Hello, Miss Maggs. Come to join us here at the end of the game. So Milwaukee maintains a 2-game lead over the Red Sox. The Yankees are still 4 games behind. Cleveland and Baltimore are now 5.5 games behind. So a pretty tight race in the AL East. Also pretty tight is looks like a 3-team race in the West, as Kansas City has a game lead over Texas and California. So, alright, so thank you for joining me. Let's check out tomorrow's game. Well, actually, I think they have... This was a Saturday game, so it was a weird Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday schedule. As Sunday's game. They're probably originally a 4-game set that got rained out on Sunday. Let's see who they start a new series with on Monday. So let's play the games through this day. So it looks like, the Yankees are in a doubleheader. And Milwaukee is just a regular game, so let's play the game here. So check this out as the Yankees split in the doubleheader. So I think they're still remaining 4 games behind there. Actually no, Milwaukee won. So I think they'll lose ground here. I think we'll see. So Milwaukee wins big over Seattle. So let's check the standings now. Actually, Milwaukee gains a half game on us as they win, and we're idle. And the Yankees are 4.5, so they gain a half game on the Yankees too. And now Kansas City's a half game behind Texas. California a game behind. Alright, let's check the schedule now. So it's going to be Yankees start a series with the Yankees again. So from Fenway this time. So Ed Figueroa on the hill for New York against Dennis Eckersley. So that should be a good pitching matchup there. Hopefully the Red Sox can end their 3-game losing streak and win their first game in July. So thank you for joining me, and we're probably going to end up, as I mentioned earlier in the last video, in the June recap video. I think I'm going to start playing the National League. Maybe play a game a day that I'll play. I don't know if I'll try to record a few of those. But I think there's a good matchup to start the season. I think it's J.R. Richard against, can't think of who it is, against somebody, but it's a really good pitching matchup. So I may record that one over the weekend. We'll see. So thank you for joining me. It's Merrick from High Ground Gaming, my co-host Mr. Brody and Miss Mags. And we will see you in the next 1978 Red Sox video. And we shouldn't have that much more left until the All-Star break. Let's see. Before we sign off, let's just take a quick look and see when the All-Star game is. So let's see. Probably going to be the next week, probably a little over a week, I would assume. Looks like I think it's going to be July 10th is the All-Star, right? July 11th, sorry. Yeah, because they're off the 10th, 11th, and 12th, the All-Star game being. So we get games through the 8th, so we have, I think they play every day up until then, so we have like 7 more games until the All-Star break. So Al, we're getting closer, so maybe we'll try to finish those in the next week and a half or so. Maybe by next weekend. So maybe next weekend, which should be November, like 24th or so. So we'll see if possibly next weekend, maybe next Saturday or Sunday, we can possibly coordinate and do our video where we compare my 78 season to Al's 78 season using Digital Diamond Baseball. So we'll see. So thank you for joining me, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care and God bless. Bye-bye now.